Gracias. Welcome, everyone. My name is Patricia Mota, currently serving as President and CEO for the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement, or HACE, national nonprofit organization whose mission is to positively impact workplaces by cultivating the pipeline of Latino talent, providing Latinos the insight, access, and development to be successful in their careers. We are at live, so this is the first ever in-person live Cafecito con HACE, and we're so excited for our conversation today and our special guest, Ivette Treviño, who is the Executive Director for the Little Village Chamber of Commerce. Bienvenida.
Gracias. Yes, we are live and in person from Woodridge, Illinois for our Little Village Chamber of Commerce golf outing. So thank you so much for coming out to the event and doing this live for your audience. I'm really excited.
It's something new. And before we get started, why are we here at this golf outing today?
Yeah, so the Little Village Chamber of Commerce hosts its golf outing every year. It's one of our biggest fundraisers for the year. And it's really just an opportunity to bring small businesses, corporations, and government leaders together for a day of networking out in the open. So we're still following COVID guidelines and maintaining our distance, but being that it's outdoor and we have perfect weather, it makes for a great time.
Perfect weather. It's getting a little steamy. So yes, it is a great day. And HACE Familia is here supporting our Mujeres de HACE alum, Ivette. We have Olga Camargo, our board chair, Juan Carlos Avila, who is board chair emeritus, and Jose Suarez, who is our former Young Professionals Board and alum from our programs as well. Part of my foursome that's playing out. So we're taking a little break right now to have this conversation. So Ivette, Cafecito con HACE, ¿cómo te gusta tu café? How do you prefer your morning beverage of choice?
Yeah, so I guess one of the perks of working in Little Village is that you will always find the best coffee, café de olla. So there's café con leche, but then my favorite in particular has to be café de olla with just a little splash of cream. So, and you can find that anywhere in Little Village, from Don Pepe's to La Catedral. They have the best coffee.
So make sure you make it out to Little Village. Enjoy the cafecito. So salud. Y'all, please forgive me. I forgot my cafecito mug. But Ivette has a very nice making jefa moves coffee mug.
Cheers.
Salud. So Ivette, please share with our audience. We always like to share and feature leaders and their career trajectory and how they got to where they are and their background, and share with us who Ivette Treviño is.
Yeah, so really we are from very humble beginnings. My parents got married. They lived in Monclova, Coahuila, Mexico, arrived here to Chicago. Their first apartment was in back of the yard. So we lived in back of the yards for 12 years before my dad was able to purchase his first home in Brighton Park. I'm a product of Chicago Public Schools, a product of, and that's grammar school and high school, and even a product of city colleges of Chicago. So like I mentioned, very humble beginnings before I transitioned and transferred over to a university. My career was always in accounting. So started to work for a couple of different construction companies, working in project management, project accounting, and that really introduced me to work with assist agencies like the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and now the Little Village Chamber of Commerce. So I got to work with small businesses on their minority certification, and that's really what introduced me to the nonprofit world and working with small businesses to make sure that they receive the support that they needed, the advocacy, and just, building relationships, expanding my social capital and even my political capital through different leadership academies like Mujeres de HACE, also a recent graduate from the Chicago Latino Leadership Academy. So I was always looking for different groups and, development opportunities to continue like my education. And I love being a lifelong learner. So always looking to like invest in different programming and then also just build relationships with Patricia, Olga, Juan Carlos, Jose, and now even elected officials through the Leadership Academy. And that's always something that I've always constantly tell folks is continue to invest in your education, never stop learning, build a relationship with different folks that are not only going to hold you accountable, but able to kind of push you forward and help you through your journey. So
amazing,
humble beginnings.
Amazing tips, definitely. We're here, and you mentioned a lot of the folks that you have been building relationships that are now, supporting, that support LVCC, but also most importantly support you, right? We need to support our Latina leaders that are leading organizations, such important organizations such as the Little Village Chamber of Commerce, that is such a key for our community, the business growth, and just ensuring that not only our businesses are obtaining capital, connecting with others, and really growing and thriving. But the tips, you all take them in, make sure you're building relationships, connect with Ivette, connect with myself, with your ACE Familia, and making sure that you're getting all the resources and connections to continue to thrive and achieve your highest potential. And so I know we have some Mujeres de ACE alumni tuning in, so you have one of your fellow alumni peers here that is part of your circle, your familia as well. And so, Ivette, we've been also doing a campaign this year, ACE, around featuring my career, my way, featuring stories in terms of how folks are really taking ownership and of their career. And so share with us how you shared a couple of nuggets in terms of how you've done that, but share with us in terms of how you continue to do that, and specifically what landed you to this role that you're leading today.
Yeah, so right in the middle of the pandemic, I was presented with this opportunity to explore a career with the Little Village Chamber of Commerce. I think my experience and my time at the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce really prepared me for this role. But I also leveraged my network a lot and helping me prepare not only for the interview, but to make sure it was the right fit. So there was little snippets that I took from just the Leadership Academy with Mujeres de ACE, like the marketing and branding, even negotiating like my salary. Like these are all things that I was able to learn through Mujeres de ACE that I was able to implement and use with this position. Little Village is a very, very special community. It's known as the second Mag Mile, which, nowadays, I'm not sure how the Mag Mile is doing, but Little Village never stopped working during COVID. So right in the middle of the pandemic, I decided to take the leap and start this position as executive director. Little Village has over 500 businesses. About 100 of those are restaurants, which, as you know, restaurants were hit the hardest through the pandemic. So my goal is to be able to help them with access to capital, help, provide advocacy, support them through financial literacy, and really just focus on economic recovery through the remainder of this year and through the pandemic. So those are just, leveraging my network obviously has helped me tremendously, reaching out to leaders again like Olga, who really helped kind of set the tone and the pave through, building my confidence and just the opportunity to connect with different mentors throughout the year, which mentorship is super, super important. If you don't have a mentor, you definitely should connect with different folks, get yourself a mentor. I love being able to mentor our youth. I work with a group of students from different high schools and just working, whether it's on interviews, mock interviews, or with entrepreneurship. Sorry for the background noise. I love it though. I love it. Yes. It definitely gives me an opportunity to continue to expand my network and really connect with folks and build relationships.
Yeah, not easy. I mean, but a lot of great tips. I think that was Juan Carlos, and we were talking about Jose Suarez. I just said hello. So those of you who want to know, that's who that was. And I'm losing my train of thought here, but I'm asking you all who are tuning in. I don't want to forget. Thank you for the comment, Antonio. I agree with you. Great to hear from leaders like Ivette sharing their own background in these initiatives, such as what we have going on here today with the LVCC and this particular golf outing, but also shining light on Ivette and her leadership. And it's not an easy feat, right, to be able to go into roles like this. And so we need to support one another, but most importantly, share our stories in terms of how we got into these particular roles. So those of you tuning in, if you have any questions or comments, please start sharing them so we can get to those as well as we're engaging in this beautiful day here at Village Greens of Woodridge and this 18-hole golf outing I'm skipping out right now for a little bit. Thank you, Patricia. Saludos from Riverside, California. So we have folks all over the country that are tuning in and sharing our story today. I did want to also ask you in terms of the Back to Business initiative that you've been advocating and speaking about. Can you share, especially those who are small business owners in the community, what they should know about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Little Village Chamber of Commerce is one of many organizations that is currently working on creating outreach and promoting the Back to Business grant, which is a grant for small businesses who have had a loss due to COVID. We are literally walking businesses through the whole application process. We are also part of the Illinois Latino Small Business partnership with the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Aurora Hispanic Chamber, Greater Waukegan, Joliet, the Logan Square Chamber, Puerto Rican Chamber. So there's a group of us that are really focusing on advocating and supporting small Latino-owned businesses to apply for Back to Business. Back to Business grant is anywhere from $5,000 to $150,000, wow, as long as you were able to show that you had a loss in revenues when you compare 2019 taxes to 2020 taxes, which we can walk you through every single step for free, mind you, and have a one-on-one conversation about the program and how we can provide assistance, how we can help you apply and get small businesses back on their feet.
That's a wonderful initiative. And mi gente, if you need the help and can definitely leverage the support, make sure you reach out. I know sometimes as a community, we have a fear of asking for help, and you have your community here that's willing, and this initiative specifically, that's a great resource. How do people find out more or get information regarding that?
Yeah, so Back to Business is currently open for any Illinois business with less than 500 employees. You can get more information on our website, littlevillagechamber.org. You can also look at the State of Illinois website, which is the DCO website, Department of Economic Commerce and Opportunities. And there's plenty of information out there. We're constantly posting on social media. And then you can definitely reach out directly to me. And I'm more than happy to sit with you and have a one-on-one conversation about the program, how to access capital. And if maybe, if you need credit repair, we can help you with your credit repair. And the financial literacy, connecting you with CPAs. So if you're a business and you haven't filed your 2020 taxes, which is a requirement for this specific program, we'll connect you with CPAs who are ready to help you, do your taxes. I think sometimes businesses are so busy working on the front end of their business, they kind of leave like the back end of the business neglected sometimes. So if we can connect you with CPAs, bookkeepers, different accountants to kind of help you with that financial literacy and having your financials together, working on your accounts payable, accounts receivable, profit and loss, cash flow statements, we do it all. And we'd like to be seen as an extension of your team. So if we can help you with the resources and the support that you need to succeed, then that's exactly what we want to do.
And I think you answered that question from Patricia there regarding the financial literacy piece. We have another question regarding from Olga that's talking about how do you what do you see yourself empowering other Latinas in your role? How do you see yourself empowering other Latinas in your role?
For the remainder of this year and headed into next year, there's a huge focus on workforce, specifically in helping women transition back into the workplace. We saw a lot of women have to step back from their careers because of the pandemic. I'm also a mom, so it was very hard to juggle a career with children who were at home doing e-learning. I really had to quickly mobilize and build a support system so that I can continue to thrive during the pandemic. So our focus will really be on supporting women as they transition back into the workforce. And what does that mean? That means connecting them with different leadership academies, connecting them with career opportunities, helping facilitate interviews, if we need to do like a resume builder course or just mock interviews, we definitely want to make sure that we're supporting women as they transition back into the workplace.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we're doing this all together. Thank you, Yvette. I know we want to get back to the golf course and back to this event and your event, right? You have a lot going on. My last question for you is, what are you most hopeful for the remainder of this year?
I'm hopeful for, I think the number one thing we also want to prioritize is just health and wellness. How do we make sure that folks are still getting vaccinated? How do we connect them with services and resources? And then how do we just serve as a supportive community? Little Village, as you know, was one of the hardest hit communities with COVID. So we want to make sure that now there's access to vaccines within walking distance and access to testing. So just because you've been vaccinated doesn't mean you should stop getting COVID testing. We want to make sure that there's, folks are still getting tested, still wearing their face mask. We're very much committed to health and wellness for the remainder of this year, and we'll see what happens at the beginning of next year. But, we want to stay strong and we want to make sure that we're supporting our community.
Absolutely. Stay strong in supporting our community. Yvette, mil gracias for taking time out of your event today to do this, our first ever in-person live Cafecito con HACE. I hope you all enjoyed. Please reach out to LVCC, to Yvette, to your HACE familia for continued support. Hasta la próxima, everyone. Take care.
Gracias.
Bye-bye.
That was fantastic.
That was so much
That was
fun.
so awesome.
I didn't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.